This is it. After nearly 2 weeks exploring some of the best roads that Spain had to offer, it's finally time to head home. There's one last, very wet ride from the ferry, and then back to reality.
It's 20 to 55, so it's uncovered by the pass, and you have like €1.50 something.
You happy with that? Gotta see what it tastes like, innit? Breakfast time.
Just sat on the ferry now on the way home. Managed to get a good night's sleep last night, so that was good. The boat was going crazy. And yeah, it's I haven't really packed. Well, I've just started to pack some things. Everything was a mess because it's been pretty constant, and you get to the hotel, you unpack the things you need. When you get back in the evening, then you just repack the stuff back in that you don't need, and then just a final pack in the morning. But we all just kind of crashed last night, and everything's just spread out over the bed. I've actually just started packing now. If you have a look over there, there's like my packing cubes. Those packing cubes have been really good to try and keep things organised as well. A bit of a lifesaver, those. Yeah, it's been good. Been tiring. I've probably learnt a few things about what to take, what not to take. I think overall it was a pretty good balance of the kit that we took, and I pretty much used everything, which is good. Bikes are absolutely hanging. We're going to get back into the UK at about 5:30, so I think that's about 4 or 5 hours time. Probably put the waterproofs on, get on the bike, blast home, get the bike in the garage, and don't think I'll have time to clean it tonight, but get some time at the weekend to get it all cleaned, go through all the footage and the videos and try and figure out what I'm going to do with it as well to try and put something together. And then that's it. That's that first adventure over. I'm going to get some time to reflect on it. I'm going to put some thoughts out, and hopefully it'll come across on the video as well that I put together. But at the moment it's a bit of a blur. I've been trying to take notes as I go, but we're on the move quite a lot, and it's just challenging. It's odd watching this back now. Sitting on the ferry then, I remember saying I had no idea what I would do with all this footage.
Stay this banana.
Banana.
No, Joe?
To Salisbury, and then just go Salisbury, broken cupboard.
Gonna go get your waterproofs on, Joe?
Yeah, and it's cold.
I'd filmed everything because I wanted to remember the trip, but I also had dreams of making a YouTube channel to take people along for the ride, and I had no idea that I would be able to turn it into a 10-part series. As it turns out, there was a lot more content I had recorded than I ever expected, and 10 episodes later, with many evenings and weekends editing, here they are. Looking back now, I'm really glad I hit record, not because every shot was perfect, but because together they've captured an adventure that we'll never forget, and one that we got to share, not only with you, but also our friends and our family. If you've watched the series from the beginning, thank you for coming along for the ride. Hopefully it's given you a taste of what motorcycle touring is really like, following a group of newbies like us, and the incredible roads, the unexpected moments, the laughs, the tired mornings, and even the rain on the way home. Every trip has to end eventually, and this one will stay with me for a long time.
Back in the UK. I'm on the wrong floor. lost. Found it. Time to pack. Oh, time to finish packing and get ready to go.
Mitch would be docking in Portsmouth in 30 minutes' time. May we please ask you to vacate your cabin? If you're travelling with your pet today, you can now take your pet down to your vehicle via the further lift located at the back of the ship. Please make sure your dog wears his muzzle on. We also ask you to keep staircases as well as cabin corridors clear. Thank you.
This was the final time I would be packing the bags, and by this point, what felt like a complicated puzzle before we had left somehow became almost second nature. All those worries I had before the trip, whether I'd packed the right things, bought too much, forgotten something, or even whether the luggage would hold up or eventually be launched down the road somewhere, that was all thankfully a distant memory. And in the end, it had all just worked. There were no luggage dramas, nothing fell off, and there were no major catastrophes along the way. Although Joe and Simon's bike's luggage did regularly look a little bit like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The forecast for the day back in the UK wasn't exactly encouraging. Rain was waiting for us on the other side of the channel, making for a rather grey welcome home. Still, I guess every cloud has a silver lining, because after carrying our waterproof gear all the way through Spain without needing it, we finally had at least the perfect opportunity to find out if it actually did what it's supposed to do. We somehow managed to miss the announcement to return to the bikes, and got a bit lost trying to find the right deck. But once we eventually found our way back, for whatever reason, we just waited. I'm not entirely sure what was going on, but fully geared up, waiting for what felt like forever, while the doors stubbornly refused to open, it was getting seriously warm, and all any of us wanted to do was just to get rolling and get some airflow. One last ride. Passaporte control, I think. Eventually, after waiting for some time, we could feel some air. The doors had opened, and one by one we rolled down the long lane towards the exit. As the daylight eventually came back into view, it finally felt like the journey was moving again, and before long, our tyres were back on solid ground, and the final leg of the trip was underway. As we rolled off the ferry, we joined a long snake of bikers that had been tucked away on the deck above. It was a cool sight, watching dozens of bikers making their way back onto British roads all together. Somehow, I also knew that that odd feeling I had of being back in the UK after an epic trip wasn't just something that was stuck in my mind. It was probably shared by almost everyone that was on a bike that had been on an adventure, They all had their own stories to tell when they got home to their family and friends too. With dark grey clouds gathering overhead though, I wasn't overly interested in hanging around. I was keen to get through passport control before the heavens opened and to get the final ride underway. Once we were through passport control, motorbikes were scattered everywhere. Riders had taken over the side of the road towards the exit, waiting for friends to catch up, deciding which direction to head, or simply just taking a moment before setting off on the final leg of their journey. For all of us now, an adventure was coming to an end. It was just a matter of which road would take us home to complete it.
Hot enough. Wetty legs, just like being back in 30-degree heat again, isn't it? Yeah man, let's get moving. Good. Hold up.
With the route loaded into the sat-nav, we finally hit the road, and as mile after mile passed, the long line of bikers slowly peeled away, each heading off in a different direction towards home. Before long, it was just the three of us again, in the rain. The adventure was now firmly behind us, and there was only one destination left on the sat-nav: home.
Back where it all started. Mental. Time to get dried and warmed up.
And now we're back home. Normal life and routines resume, and an adventure becomes a memory. Not that long ago, this trip was just an idea. A meeting at a pub one random Friday evening, with Simon drawing dates on a napkin. And then what followed was wondering what to pack, hoping the bikes would behave, the weather would be good, and asking ourselves if we thought everything would actually work out. As it turned out, we were worrying about where we would sleep and not having any real plan. But really, that's what made it so special. Some of the best roads we'd ever ridden, incredible mountain passes, the tiny cafes we'd never have found if we made some grand plan, the people that we met along the way, the busy cities or towns and the quiet villages, the sunshine, mist, laughter, tired mornings, aching shoulders, and more memories than I ever imagined we'd make in just a couple of weeks. There were moments when we were melting hot, moments when we were shattered, and moments when we questioned where we were heading. But somehow, those are the memories that stay with us, just as much as the epic views. Looking back now, I realised that this trip was maybe never really about Spain. It was about getting away from everyday life for a while, spending time with mates, discovering places we'd never seen before, and proving to ourselves that you don't need the perfect bike, the perfect weather all the time, or even the perfect plan to have an unforgettable adventure. All you really need to do is turn the key, point the bike towards somewhere you've never been, and go.
What do you think, mate? Meow.
Thank you for coming along on the journey with us, and a huge thank you for supporting my little channel. Whether you've watched every episode or you've only just joined the ride, I genuinely hope it's inspired somebody to get out there, create new memories of your own. Because one day the roads may fade into distance, but the memories never really do. Until next time.